Hello from the Dukascopy TV studio in Geneva. We're talking about the structural problems of the euro with Mr. Pierre Vassart. He is Chief Investment Officer of Denarius, Conseils and Gestion. Welcome to the studio.
Thank you very much, Daniel.
So we are just some minutes after a maybe historical decision that was done with the Eurogroup and Greece. So there has been an agreement, maybe an historical agreement, we will see. But the question remains, so what are main structural problems of the euro?
Daniel, when the two architects of the European Union, Chancellor Konrad Adenauer and President Charles de Gaulle, got together to create the European Union, they did an economic union, they didn't do a currency union. And President Charles de Gaulle was always highly skeptical about financial engineering, financial maneuvering from central banks' intervention. And he was advised, in fact, by a French economist called Jacques Rueff. Jacques Rueff had done some studies about the high unemployment in the United Kingdom in the 1930s, and he had concluded that there was a direct relationship between the high parity of the British pound versus the US dollar and gold, and economic stagnation, deflation condition in the British economy, and structural unemployment that could not be reduced. And in my opinion, this type of analysis is very relevant today. We can see today also within the euro currency. I've shown some charts over here which are the first chart here overseas, which we can see here, is the cost situation, the cost competitiveness of Germany. It shows the cost evolution, the trend of the unit labor cost per productivity, per unit of productivity over the years between 1999, which is the creation of the euro, and until 2012. The blue bar at the bottom is really the cost level of Germany, and it shows the unit labor cost versus Germany. And you can see that Germany, since the beginning, has always had the lowest unit labor cost and has always had the highest cost competitiveness of all Europe. You can see here all the other countries. Now, in this second graph, which has been shown also by Dr. Heiner Flassbeck, a German economist, we see since 1999 what has happened. In fact, in Germany being the red, France, which is the blue, and then Italy and Southern Europe, excluding Italy, so that would include Greece. And you can see also the extreme cost competitiveness of Germany versus the other partners. You can see also in black, you see this black line in the middle here, it shows the cost evolution with a 2% or 1.9% inflation target, which is really the target of the European Central Bank. Then there are three very important consequences of this situation. The first consequence is obviously Germany will grab market share in Europe and outside of Europe because they can produce high quality products at a low cost, and therefore they gain market share. And you can see the second consequence over here is that the unemployment in Germany, which is the blue line here, unemployment is going down since 2005, and it's now at the lowest point. Whereas on the other end, the unemployment in France and Italy is moving up. So the decline in employment in Germany is compensated by an increase in unemployment in France in green and Italy in yellow. The third consequence is now on the current account surplus, which you can see here. Germany is in blue, and since the beginning of the euro in 1999, then the current account surplus of Germany has gone up tremendously, and it's now at 6% or even sometimes higher, which is extremely high. Whereas the current account of Southern Europe and France has been going down because obviously it reflects the cost competitiveness of Germany and the efficiency of Germany versus the rest of Europe. Just one point on this current account surplus, and obviously is that people on the investment side and on the traders, the foreign exchange trader, should be careful about selling the euro too aggressively, because in fact the euro at the consolidated level, the euro currency is in a trade surplus, and if the US do not raise their interest rate, then the current account surplus could be a possible resistance point, on the downside.
What are the consequences? They have to be. We just see that there are. In terms of the surplus, the unemployment, obviously Germany is doing well. Southern European states have been not going so well. But the question is also, maybe there are structural reforms that have to be made and haven't been introduced quickly enough, right?
Exactly. The structural reforms, they have been introduced by Germany, and you can see here, actually on that graph, if you go to 1991 and 1999 and 2000, you can see that Germany was in a deficit situation, because this is the period when they were working on structural reforms, and I think Mr. Schroeder was doing it.
And this is a chart, for example, that exactly shows this. This is a chart from the Organization for Economic Development, OECD, in Europe, and it shows that like the biggest responsiveness for reforms is now starting from Greece and from Ireland and Portugal, Spain. So all these countries that haven't been introducing structural reforms. So are you hopeful that they are going to introduce these reforms and the situation might change for the better?
Unfortunately, you're quite right to point out that Greece, because Greece, this is what they say. They say, hey, you German, we have done the structural. We have tried to implement that. But look at our economic situation now. Our economic situation now is worse than it was in 2010. So you see that the problem is really a structural one, and obviously it derives from the fact that in the meanwhile, first of all, structural reforms require a long time, and then in the meanwhile, the competitive situation of Germany is continuing. So you see, they cannot catch up. They can improve their own situation as compared to the past, but they cannot catch up, and come at the same level of Germany.
So the structural problems of the euro still exist, and we will see where this goes. Thank you very much, Pierre Vassart, for being here today.
Thank you.
And thanks for watching. Do make sure to keep clicking back on the Dukascopy TV website for latest updates and exclusive interviews. Have a great day and see you next time.